Hey, what's up guys? Devin here with Backcountry Exposure. We're going to do a review today on the Deuter Air Contact Pro 60+15. This is a really cool pack that I understand is not going to fit the need for a lot of people, but I'm going to talk about how this pack fits the need for me as what it is specifically. Now basically, you're looking at a pack that weighs 7 pounds. Yes, this thing alone weighs 7 pounds. But I want to talk about the application of this pack and how I've been using it and the type of application that it's good for different types of programs that are out there that are going to use this pack or this pack would be beneficial for. Now, if you're not familiar, I do teach intro to backpacking classes at a local university, and I use this pack as my instructor pack. The reason for that is basically you have a insanely robust and really nice suspension system on this pack that is capable of carrying a lot of weight. So not only am I using this for an instructor pack to be able to carry the loads that I need to as an instructor, but also as a climbing pack to be able to load this with a lot of climbing gear and to be able to carry it without being totally destroyed because the suspension system can't handle the weight. 7 pounds for the pack itself is a little excessive in my opinion. That's pretty dang heavy. Let's go ahead and talk about the features of the pack, what I like about it, things that I kind of don't like about it, and then we'll finish up. But basically, lots of different options with this pack. You've got a lot of ability to lash things to the pack. You've got pad straps here and such, but working from the top down, you do have a really nice top lid with the zipper here on the back, and it has a lot of good access and features to it. So here on the inside, one of the things that they do include with this pack, just as a quick tangent, is you do get a little day pack that is actually a really cool addition to the pack. Nice wide opening, which I think is a really cool feature and an important feature on a pack of this size, that once you've got this thing loaded down, you don't want everything on the inside to make it really difficult to then load the top lid, which I see on a lot of different brands, including Deuter, on different packs, but they've done a good job of raising the height of the zipper and the lid and the space in here so that once this thing is loaded in the main compartment, you've got the ability to actually load and use the top lid. You do have sorry, I've got other gear in here, but you do have a map pocket or a personals pocket to be able to put a wallet, keys, that kind of thing. You've also got a little lanyard here to be able to attach keys, but a lot of good space inside of this top lid. If we flip it back, you'll notice that you've got another zipper here. They do have what is called their SOS or their emergency type signal and information here on the top lid. And then you've got kind of a hidden pocket here that would also be really good to stash things that you don't want to get wet or need to be secured and hidden so that people don't get into that. You've got this odd collar piece right here, and I think that this is included more so to prevent the top lid from sliding all the way down the back of the pack, but I don't really personally know the application to this, so if you do, go ahead and let me know. But I'm going to flip this back around. Moving down from the lid into the main compartment, you've got a lot of good options with this. A massive collar. So this is where that plus 15 comes into play on the Air Contact Pro 60+15. So you've got the ability to add a lot of extra space if you're going to carry that much extra gear. Honestly, for me, this is a little bit excessive, and it kind of just gets in the way of being able to effectively and properly pack the pack because it is so big. But the ability to add additional space to the pack is really nice. Normally I just tuck that down in on the inside. You've got a strap right here, pretty standard to be able to pull this over top of the pack. And then down on the inside of the pack, you do have a separator here down in the bottom of the pack for the sleeping bag compartment. For me, I keep those open and I just use it as one entire large compartment. Here on the front of the pack, you do have a pocket here to be able to stash additional items, wet clothing, stuff that you would get into while you're out on the trail and you don't want to have to access into the inside of the pack. It's not as stretchy as you would think it would be. This material here on the front doesn't allow it to have a lot of that give that I like from the mesh pockets, but you can still stash a bunch of gear in here. You've got lash points here on the side. You've got some elastic cords here to be able to lash trekking poles or ice axes or tent poles, any kind of thing that you would need to here on the outside of the pack. Then I do really like this feature of a pack of this size. So you do have a front entry and access to the inside of the pack. So I can basically lay this thing down, open it up, pack stuff into it, as well as have really easy access. And I actually really like it when a pack has this, especially of this size, when I'm not as concerned about how much weight I'm carrying. This is a great feature to have, just makes the pack more versatile, and I'm glad that Deuter has included it on this. As well as you've got this strap that basically kind of like a duffel bag or like your luggage, where you can use this piece here to pull the pack nice and tight, hold everything on the inside of the pack that's up here at the top so it doesn't come falling out when you do open it up. But just another great thoughtful feature that Deuter has put into the pack. Once you've got that zipped up, you do have the option to be able to clip these into making it a little bit more secure. Then here on the side, you've got even more pockets. Compression strap here with a zipper, and this more gear from a previous trip, but you've got a bellows pocket right here that is going to allow you to, once the pack is fully loaded, the bellows allows you to get gear in there because everything's pushing against the pocket here on the side. The bellows will allow you to put additional gear in here, which is really nice. You've got an H2O port right here. You could use this to be able to put your hydration bladder in instead of sliding it down the side of the pack. Pretty much like a 2-liter max capacity on that right there. But again, another great feature. And you've also got one on this other side. So technically you could put 2 different water bladders in here, or depending on which side of the pack you like to have your hose come out, you've got the ability to use the water bladder on each side or stash additional gear. Side pockets on the pack are probably my least favorite part of this pack. Unfortunately, they are really hard to access when the pack is on your back. I don't like to use water bladders, and I like to just stuff water bottles on the inside of these pockets. There's a ton of space in here, but it's not as functional as I would like from a pack of this size, which is kind of a bummer. But you do have 2 of those, and they are really big and made from this like really strong like Cordura fabric. Pocket on the hip belt is really big, and I want to talk about this aspect of the pack here really quick because this hip belt pocket basically saved my camera's life. On the trip that I went on most recently, I got into a mud hole and in the river, and I totally fell into the river. Went over my waist in the water, and I had my camera on the inside of this pocket. And first thing I thought about is, well, there goes my $700 camera. Like, that's great. I'm glad that I thought about that and I didn't protect it. Well, benefit to this is they have put a coating on the inside, kind of like a silicone coating on the inside of this. And basically, it wasn't until 3 or 4 minutes after I had been out of the water that I pulled my camera out and water started seeping through the seams, the sewn seams on this, and my camera didn't get a single drop of water on it. I was over top of the pocket with water for at least 10 or 15 seconds. pretty dang cool. So thank you, Deuter, for thinking about that, because it totally saved my camera's life. All right, let's go ahead and talk about the backside of the pack now, the suspension system. Really, really robust. You've got a lot of padding on this 3D mesh. They are using what they call their active fit, or their very fit air contact system. You've got really great adjustability. So I've got this piece right here that I can pull up, and that will allow the top or the shoulder straps to slide up and down. Really, really cool. So ton of adjustability on this pack, which I really like. And that goes back to what I was talking about earlier in the application of this pack and who might be using it and what it's good for. On the shoulder straps here, you've got 2 attachment points. So somebody like me who has like an 18-inch torso, I've got these shoulder straps here attached to these lower attachments. Somebody that's going to be a lot taller, like a 20, 21, 22-inch torso, will use these top straps, which makes this pack really, really universal and a great product for programs. So outdoor programs, when you need a pack that is going to be used by a lot of different people, this thing has the ability to have the adjustability to make that work for people of different sizes. As well as the torso adjustment here, lots of range on that, and it's super easy to adjust. The back system on the back panel, really, really comfortable, super comfortable. I just love this aspect of it. I've had other Deuter packs where the back panel has not been as comfortable. Honestly, it doesn't breathe super well, but again, if you watch my channel, you know that I don't really get concerned about whether or not the pack has the ability to breathe, because regardless of me hiking, this thing meaning my back, is going to sweat, and I don't really care about how well it breathes. The hip belt is so robust, full of a ton of foam, and it's got different types of layers to it to give it the rigidity that it needs to be able to handle that weight that is going to be carried. So overall, guys, this pack is honestly really fantastic. It weighs way too much for a pack, in my opinion. I know like the Osprey Aether 70, which a good friend of mine has, is in that 4-pound range. So even with that, you've got the ability to carry heavy loads with their anti-gravity system from Osprey. But again, Deuter has put a lot of thought into this pack, and as an instructor and somebody that's carrying a lot of weight, when I take out students, this is a really, really cool pack. And in the time that I've used it so far, really, really happy with it. So I don't have a lot of negative things to say about it other than the weight, but basically it's what you would expect from a pack of this design and this application, and I think Deuter has definitely done a good job of creating a high quality product. So with that, guys, thank you so much for watching. That is the Deuter Air Contact Pro 60+15. If you haven't, go ahead and hit that red subscribe button down at the bottom and subscribe to my channel. Appreciate the support, and as always, guys, thank you so much for watching. Hope you have an awesome day.